Welcome to the 10-acre woods. Of course, I'm out here with the animals, and Carl is still doing his no good. Carl's our male goat, and all the females are inside, actually expecting kids. Now, these guys out here, these sheep came in the fall. There's 10 of them. And they have actually found a new home. So they are going up into the Interlake region of Manitoba, and they're heading out tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. We've got one of our little Juliana pigs, and Carl is just, you can't get away from him. He just wants to play. The geese are out, geese and the ducks. They're all out, and they're going to be very muddy, I'm sure. Yeah, mud, 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 mud. All right. So that Canadian goose still stuck around. It wandered in last year. Carl, stop hitting me. It wandered in last year, and it can fly, but it was being raised by the geese. So we're hoping that it flies off and finds a pair, or finds another one to make a pair. Okay, who do we got? Here's the Juliana pig scratching herself. Got 2 of them. This one, if you remember from before, is Brian. Brian, the boy, he's an intact male. And I guess the other pigs are inside the building here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It's a little dark in there. Petey and Piper, how you guys doing? You guys were out all day. Now you're resting. And of course, there's the other Juliana pig there. You found a little buddy, did ya? Yeah? All right. Well, you guys go back to sleep. Okay, we're in the barn to check on all the animals in here, and we've moved some people around. So this here is Turbo, there's Tinker, and Lambert. And Lucy's way down there. Lucy, hi. What do you got? So, moving along, here is Sarge keeping an eye on everything, making sure everything's going good. And here are the girls. So Patches is due to have her young, and Snow is down there in the corner. So we're keeping a close eye on them. I've installed this camera here. It's just a child camera to watch children. So it is a wireless feed up to the house, and we can watch them from there. I can turn it around and we can watch Sweetie here, which we had to close her in because she is a jumper. Even pregnant, aren't you? We think you're pregnant. Maybe, hey? Well, Blackie is back there in the corner, chewing away. And Velvet is right there. Hi, Velvet. So Velvet's pretty pushy, and she was pushing all the other girls around, and it just wasn't a comfortable area. So we separated the 2 of these in here that work well. Velvet's in there, and these 2 girls are in here. So now everybody's happy. Chickens are doing well. The door's open to the outside. And what do we have in here? Babies. Right, birdies? And pigeons. Donald the Drake. And here is Dad with his 2 little young. So these ones are 3 days old. All right, you can head back over there. So an interesting thing on pigeons that we learned actually last year is the The males will sit during the day on the eggs and on the young, and giving the mother off during the day. At night, they reverse it. So you can usually tell the sex of a bird, of a parent, if they're sitting during the day or if they're sitting at night. If you come out in the middle of the night and there's a bird sitting on there, female, and then vice versa in the daytime. And you can see that pattern if you come out night after night after night. So it's very interesting. So we've tagged all of our pairs, and they will pair for life as far as we know. So we tag the females pink and the males blue. So Tara was out here busy working this morning, actually and last night, and she built this house. So it is pretty cool. So this was the lumber that we got from Old Pallets. It's a pallet company that they build pallets, but some of them are a little weaker. You can see here, you know, this has got some cracks in it, some rot. They're just not the best. They're not the best for strength, but they're excellent for building little projects. So this here's Francisco. Hi, Francisco. And then this is Willow. Now, Willow hasn't had young in quite a while, but inside we were looking around while actually Tara was cleaning the cage, and lo and behold, let's just move this over. Ooh, we have a couple young. So here's one little one. So these guys are only maybe about a week old, and it's amazing on how they're up and at 'em like right away. Here, go see your dad. Oh yeah, you want to go see your dad? And they're climbing. And this one here, oh, there we go. And then this little guy here. Actually, we haven't even sexed them yet. I'm not even sure what they are, if they're female or male. I guess we will have to do that, right? So we know what to call you. A little girl or a little boy. There goes the other one. So they love this little cage. They love climbing. Away they go. Okay, these are our newest chicks here. So these ones hatched out just a few days ago. And we keep them in here, and we separate the young ones from the older ones, just because they don't get picked on. And what's up with this little guy? He kind of got left behind. Oh, come here, little one. Go in with your family. There you go. Get all nice and warm. I guess they're warm enough because they're out of the light. So if you were watching previous videos, you'll have seen that we have been putting together some feed from grains that we have been getting in a donation form. So the results are back. Now, I think it was last video or 2 videos ago, I was talking about this and how it's cheaper to make your own feed, and you know where your feed's coming from. So here are the results, and in comparison, what we have done is taken, it could be called something else, it probably is called something else where you are, but this is a 17% layer ration, it's called. And this is your standard mix through this company on layers, chicken layers. So just going over a few things here, for example, okay, your 17% layer ration is 17% protein. So our mixture has 17.30% protein. So we're bang on that. Crude fat, we're a little high. It's saying 2% crude fat, and we actually have 6.12% crude fat. We have to do a little bit of research on that as to find out what higher fat content can cause. I know if you plump up your chickens a little too much, they may not lay as good, so that may be an issue. So we're going to look into that and see what we added that has that extra fat content, and maybe we can cut that down and do another test in the future. Crude fiber, it's 6% in the mixed, and ours is 6.12%. So we're bang on that. Calcium, we're off. Okay, so calcium 4%, and we are at 0.3%. 3%. So yeah, not a whole lot of calcium in what we added, but what we use is we have eggshells ground up. You throw them in the microwave after you've cooked breakfast, and you dry them out, I think about 30 seconds, depending on how many eggs you have. Just kind of dry them out. You can bake them. Initially it was baking them, and then we thought, we found out that if you microwave them, it's a lot quicker. And the other one is oyster shells. So having this free choice, they can pick at it. But what we want to do is we want to get something, we want to bump up that calcium a little bit. So that's something that we're going to be looking at into the future, what to add into the feed to bring up that calcium level. What else do we have? We have phosphorus, sodium. I don't think those tests. Oh yeah, sodium. Okay, sodium, they are at 0.17%, and we are at 0.08%. Phosphorus in theirs is 0.6%, and ours is 0.54%. So we're bang on everything there. We have a concern of selenium, because in mixing in different regions, selenium deficiency can cause problems in animals. Selenium is naturally found in the ground, and of course when we plant our wheat and our barley and our corn and all of our feeds, it grows up along with that, and you have the selenium that you need in your feed. But in certain areas in North America, there are deficiencies, so you have to subsidize it with selenium additive. So that's something that we would like to find out. This feed here that you purchase contains, it says this feed contains added selenium at 0.3 milligrams per kilogram, and if my math is correct here, that would be 0.03% selenium. So not a whole lot, and of course you don't want to give them too much, because that can cause other issues. So you want to be right in there with that. So those are our tests, and I think we did pretty good. We're going to make a few little changes to it over the time, do a little bit more research and see where we need to be, and if we cut down one, is that going to affect the other? We're going to bring that fat down a little bit, but if we do that, we could cut down on our protein a little, and then maybe find something to add calcium into it. So that's that. So in future videos, I will go over what the blend is and what the mix is, so you can kind of follow along on that. Maybe I'll do that next week. Just to kind of give you an idea on what that is. Any help on this will be of help, any input from you. Maybe you've had a little bit of experience in this, and please leave them in the comments below. That would be wonderful. The other thing is I got a couple comments on, they really like how we just don't show the animals, they show the building. It's a little crowded back there, it's a little dark back there. I want to get a little bit better lighting. But one thing that you can, and this is a book that we have, it's a kind of a Bible to us around here. So barnyard in your backyard, it's in kind of rough shape here. It's got all these little sticky tabs on areas that are great. And now it covers chickens, rabbits, geese, goats, sheep, and cows. And of course, they're all right there on the cover. So it has everything in here. Oh, dust. It's been sitting on the shelf. It has everything in here from feeding them, from housing them, taking care of them, and it's great information. If you're planning on starting any kind of hobby farm yourself, you want to get into it, this would be a highly recommended book, as we have found it invaluable. It's a great starter book. And then moving on, getting into some more advanced things, you can share with others and learn more. But I'll put a link to this in the description. I'll put an Amazon link down there. I think it's 20 bucks or something like that. It has been relatively nice the last few days. It's warming up. Currently it's above freezing, which is great, but things are melting. We had back in January, end of January, we had a warm spell, and this back here is actually our septic field. So it's a raised hill. Now you can see there's grass on the top of it here, and that's the sign that Tara looks for. for spring. She looks out and she says, oh, you know, it's melting, it's wonderful. But then we weren't done with winter yet. So it got really cold, it froze, all that water in the ground froze, and froze the pipe to our septic field. So, so currently we're kind of on just restricted using of the sewage. We had our tank pumped out, so that worked out. It bought us some time. I figure we probably got a month, probably another 3 weeks. But I'm sure the ground will be thawed out, I'm hoping, by then. So we'll see how that goes. How about you run into these problems? It's been 15, 16 years since the field's been in, and this is really the first major problem we've had with it. I think just because of the time of year, and others in the area have had the same problem. So things are warming up, and I'm sure we'll be okay within the next week or so. So that's about it. So as I mentioned, I will put that link for Barnyard in Your Backyard down in the comments below. And if you have any questions about this or anything else that you've seen here, please leave them in the comments below. And until next time, we'll see you then. Tomorrow, the sheep are going. So what I'll do is I'll probably put out a video on Monday. I'll publish it Sunday night for Monday. And it'll be a short video. Who knows? It might be a short video. I'll throw some drone footage in there as well of the sheep heading out. So until then, we'll see ya. Bye.